What's up everybody, it's Paper here with another deck spotlight video for you. I'm super excited for this one. This is a deck that I've been playing and perfecting for the past 3 weeks or so. I ran a variation of this deck all the way up to Infinite in the first week. I ran 4 separate variations of this list through the Gold Conquest to get Infinity tickets. It's a relatively simple deck to play. It's got a very familiar Zabu Darkhawk Rockslide core with a little bit of a difference in the end game, the last 2 turns of the game. This deck has gone through multiple variations with plenty of changes, but the main idea and the core of the deck has remained consistent each time. We'll talk about a little bit more about some of the flexible slots later in the video, but for now, let's move on to the main idea that started this deck. The idea that started this deck was, Dr. Octopus is good, but he can often lose his location if the wrong stuff is pulled. What if there was a way to get Doc Ock out of his location, effectively abandoning where he pulled, and win the other 2 locations instead? Ghost Spider came out, and that idea was easier to pull off than ever. I added Zabu while constructing the deck, and Shang-Chi also became a clear addition right away. So the main idea here is you play Doc Ock in a location that has preferably 0 cards on your opponent's side, pulling 4 cards into that location. This does 2 things. First, we remove 4 cards from our opponent's hand, reducing their options for the final turn of the game. Second, we can hamper, even completely dismantle any turn 6 combos your opponent is trying to pull off. The first point is heavily understated. Very often in this deck, your opponent will have just 1 or 2 cards to play on the final turn. That gives us a massive advantage with all of the control cards that we run in this list. After pulling with Doc Ock, we can analyze the board state and make a few decisions based on what's in our hand. Usually we have a Shang-Chi and hopefully we have a Ghost Spider. Some games you don't even need to Ghost Spider the Doc Ock as he wins the lane by himself. Other times you can pull the Doc Ock away and still win that location with a Shang-Chi play. The flexibility of plays in this deck while simultaneously removing the flexibility from your opponent is what makes this deck so effective, and especially in Conquest. The next part of the deck is the other half that has remained consistent throughout the changes of this deck. I'm talking about the very familiar Zabu engine. We're looking at Zabu, Darkhawk, and Rockslide as they're just an extremely effective core that will win you plenty of games. This set of 3 cards has been lurking at or around the top of the meta for many months now, and for good reason. Zabu is going to let us play 2 4-cost cards on the final turn, or pair a 4-cost with a 3-cost if the situation calls for it. We're running some important control cards at 3 costs, so this is a pretty nice bonus. Since those cards are more control based, we usually don't want to play them on turn 3, so having the option to play something like Iron Lad or Rockslide on turn 3 lets us round out our curve very nicely and keep our opponent on the ropes all game. Darkhawk is one of, if not the strongest 4-costs in the game. He gets buffed by quite a few locations, and when something like Lechagia or Vibranium Mines shows up, he can hit massive numbers. Rockslide pairs nicely with him with the added bonus of the synergizing with Dr. Octopus. Your opponent may draw rocks from Rockslide's effect, and then Dr. Octopus can pull those cards, effectively bricking a location with 0 power cards, making it easier to win a Dr. Octopus location. So let's look at those control options that I mentioned briefly. You'll notice something that's not too common. Yes, I'm pushing Shadow King in this list as a huge difference maker. Surprisingly, Shadow King has been a star in this deck since his addition late last week. The current meta involves primarily Bounce and High Evolutionary. Both of those decks are affected quite negatively by Shadow King. Shadow King can reset the power of your cards hit by Cyclops or Wasp, or reset the power of Bounce deck cards like Hitmonkey, Angela, Bishop, and Kitty Pryde. Shang-Chi also makes us stronger against Lockjaw variations of the High Evolutionary deck as well. The other control cards we're including are Spider-Ham and Killmonger. Spider-Ham lets us control the late game even more for just 1 cost, which is a little ridiculous. Additionally, if your opponent plays the pig, or we pull it with Dr. Octopus, Shadow King reverts the pig to 0 power, which is basically making Shadow King a second Shang-Chi in this list. Killmonger is here for the bounce matchups as well as just being a generally good card in Conquest. If your opponent runs Nebula or Sunspot, those cards are essentially dead draws or plays for them. I originally had Nebula in this list to control my opponent's plays, but getting Killmongered in Conquest mode made me realize that 1 costs are just not that great for the mode. The remainder of the cards in this list are mostly flavor and flexible aside from Korg. I think Korg is just an auto-include since we're running Darkhawk. Iron Lad and Jeff are just really strong cards. Iron Lad can allow us to play 2 Doc Ocks in a game, which is incredibly destructive. Doubling up on most of the cards in this deck is a massive positive, and the 6 power is also a huge bonus. Jeff is all around an amazing card that adds a ton of flexibility to the deck while being a really safe play on curve. Feel free to replace these cards with other cards at the same cost. It's best that you play a 2 cost that you are comfortable slamming on turn 2 if you don't have Zabu. Also, having 4 costs in a Zabu list is my recommendation. Recommended replacements for Jeff include Invisible Woman, Scarlet Witch, and Silk. Suitable replacements for Iron Lad include Enchantress, Absorbing Man, and Miles Morales if you're still running Jeff. Surprisingly, the entirety of the Control Core is also flexible. Some of the other variations I've run include removing Spider-Ham, Killmonger, and Shadow King for things like Silk, Storm, Juggernaut, or my Infinite list which included Nebula, Green Goblin, and Arrow. You can really play anything you want in these slots and the deck will perform close to the same. This deck has by far been my favorite deck to play this season. It's been extremely consistent and has won me tons of games. My current win rate is 65% in about 115 games with an average of 1.39 cubes per game. This deck is an absolute killer. I'm for sure playing this deck in my Infinite Conquest runs this week, and I would encourage you to do the same if you are looking for something that isn't high evo or bounce. As always guys, if you liked this video and detailed deck breakdown, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel here and giving this video a thumbs up. I've upped the quality and presentation in this video and I'd appreciate any sort of critiques or recommendations that you might have for this format. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you and chatting in the comments below. Let me know if this deck works out for you, and if you'd like to watch me play this deck or any other decks live, you can find me on twitch.tv/paper with 2 R's. I stream Marvel Snap on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays starting at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and I'd love for you to stop by and hang out with our community. I'll leave you with some gameplay here from my stream where you can really see this deck shine. Thanks for watching everyone, and as always, good luck snapping. Spider-Ham turn 1 on Luke's bar is great. We get to just fish for multiple cards this game. Cool. That's not the turn 2 card that we wanted. That's Spider-Man gone. We're gonna play it again unless we draw Zabu. Star-Lord gone. Got Zabu. Good. Nice. Get out of here, White Tiger. So we know Spider-Man and White Tiger now. Hit Odin now. Oh my god, this is a game right now. What should be Doom? Okay. Let's go. That was such a solid game for Spider-Ham. We run Killmonger in this, so... Okay. This is good for us, because if this right lane turns into Dark Dimension, he always has priority if we just play in the middle. Well, he always has priority. Yeah, so he always has priority now. He has permanent priority, so any Killmonger draw is going to be great for us. We ever draw Killmonger? We can also play Shadow King next turn. In the middle. And in fact, we're kind of forced to. I'm not 100% sure if we even win this game, to be fair, but I'm going to snap anyways. Let's try to press the advantage. They're running a bounce deck with move cards in it, so I feel like it's smart. Okay, well now we just got juked. Really hard. That was Falcon plus something on the right. We get Zabu this game. But they will always have priority. So if we top deck Killmonger, we probably just win the game. Highest card in hand is Angela, so they're running like the super greedy, low cost version. Iron Lad could come out to be Killmonger as well. We're giving up the middle lane and we're just going to try to win the side lanes. He has 4 cards in decks. This is 11 on the 9 on the left, 11 on the right, but we are getting rid of Kitty Pryde and or Iron Fist power on the left with Shadow King. And we also have the chance of Iron Lad hitting Killmonger and just killing them outright. He really did risk it, huh? Well, let's see if our gamble pays off here. Oh my god, it's so paid off. Oh, it's so paid off. It doesn't even matter what this is. Oh my god. Shadow fucking King. Let's go. Holy shit. Amount of bounce is just so annoying. Yeah. I mean, it is annoying, but... what can we do? We were part of the problem by playing it a lot. Skip Killmonger next turn into Korg. Or into something else, I don't know. He has the possibility in this list to fill up this middle lane next turn. Interesting, okay. He's not going to pass up doing Kitty right now. He's not going to pass up on doing Kitty right now. There's no way he passes up Kitty right now. Bro, so many answers, so many answers. Now he just fills up the lane. So many answers to the deck. And I snapped, so. Okay, they still have priorities, so it's borderline fine. Oh god, I don't have Killmonger anymore. This should screw him up enough. I don't know if he's gonna do like a big kill. I don't know if he's gonna do big hit monkey turn this turn, but we'll see. Yeah, he has no hand. He has 1 card to play next turn. If this is, I mean, this. 10 power Darkhawk. Well, I guess... Like, what could he possibly play on the right? Because we just win with this. The last card that he physically played... No, it doesn't matter. We have so many answers here, right? Shadow King makes Hitmonkey a 0. And he has priority. Shadow fucking King, dude. Victory. Oh my god, dude. So good against this deck. What in the world? That's crazy. That's what, both of the games we beat this guy with, it was just a Shadow King on Hitmonkey Kitty. Don't like that. Don't like that if it is in fact a Galactus gamer. A hazmat gamer. Tell me he has Spider-Man. Tell me we just lose because we just lose to a Spider-Man here. Oh man, shucks, I lose. That really sucks. Oh man. Oh shoot, what am I gonna do? I lose. Damn it, I can't believe I lost. That's a 0 pig. Let's go. Let's go. Victory. Pulled the exact card we needed to pull. That's crazy. Is that the first angry react that's ever been played on a Shadow King?